Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start by priming my eyes with Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC, and then I'm also going to be concealing right underneath my brow. It just helps me fill in my brows a lot easier later. It helps kind of set the guideline for my eyebrows. Then I'm taking some tape so I get a really clean edge to my eyeshadow. For this look, I'm going to be using the Viseart Neutral Matte Eyeshadow Palette. It's been my go-to lately. I'm taking this peachy brown shade and I'm going to be going right above the crease in back and forth motions. This is the transition color, so this is always the first thing I do to my eyeshadow looks. It just helps all of the darker colors blend upwards. Next, I'm taking this taupe shade with a denser brush and I'm going to go in the crease. I'm just going to start building up my dimension and my definition. This is going to create a lot more depth than the lighter color. I'm placing it right below that peachy brown so you can see like the dark will fade upwards and it makes everything look a lot more blended. Now I'm going to take this chocolate color and I'm going right below the taupe. So we keep going downwards as the colors get darker. And I'm going to focus a lot of this color on the outer V of the eye. This is one of my favorite go-to matte looks because it's really effortless and it's really messy and you don't have to be too precise. I'm focusing most of the product on that outer V of the eye, kind of creating like a sideways V and then blending it inwards towards the lid. Now I'm going to take a pencil brush with that same chocolate brown and really define the outer V and putting it on the lash line and also up into the crease. It just makes it a little bit more like cut crease, but not quite a cut crease. Now I'm taking this beige all over the lid just to make the lid really pop and look a lot brighter. Now I'm going to take a flat definer brush and the black color, and this is where the tape really comes in handy. I want to make an eyeshadow eyeliner kind of stencil, so I'm going right on the tape and then bringing it in towards the lash line. So I'm just going along the tape and then bringing it inwards just like I would with any kind of gel or liquid eyeliner. I'm just doing a wing with the black eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be extremely neat, so don't worry if it looks perfect because we're about to smudge it out. I'm going to go back to that pencil brush and just kind of buff out that black a little bit, and there's still a little bit of brown on the brush, so it's just going to make it look a little bit more messy, which I really like for this look. Now I'm going to remove the tape, curl my lashes, and add mascara. And then after my mascara, I'm going to go in with false lashes. Today I'm going to use the Blinking Beauty, I'm not sure how to say it, I'm sorry. But these are the Samantha Lash. They're some of my favorite eyelashes. They're really wispy and they're really gorgeous. Now we can start working on the face. I'm going to take the Marc Jacobs primer. This is my current favorite primer. I've been using it nonstop. And then for foundation, I'm going to use the Armani Luminous Silk. I actually just purchased, this is the shade 6.5. I was using 7 for my tan shade. Like you can see my body doesn't match my face because I'm self-tanned. So I'm just going to apply this all over my face with a beauty blender, which is my favorite way to apply my foundation. It just makes everything melt into the skin and it just looks so blended and airbrushed. Now I'm going to highlight and conceal using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. The only thing I don't like is I feel like lately my concealer runs out so quickly and I feel like I have to use so much of it, but nonetheless it's still my current favorite concealer right now, and I'm just going to blend it out with my beauty blender. I'm just applying it underneath of my eyes in a triangle, around my nose, bridge of the nose, center of the face, and on my chin, and this will just bring light to the center of the face and really lift that under eye area. To set my concealer, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, just picking it up with my damp beauty blender, and then I'm going to let that bake, and while that bakes, I'm going to fill in my brows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I use the shade Dark Brown, and I like to go underneath my brow, kind of using that shape I outlined with the concealer. I create the shape that I want, and then I fill it in with a pencil. Then I'm going to go ahead and buff off all that excess powder. And then for my waterline, I'm going to apply this nude eyeliner from MAC. It's a MAC chromagraphic pencil. It's my favorite nude liner for the waterline. A nude liner, I feel like people get scared of it, but it really makes your eyes look super bright, super awake, and a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to go back to that taupe color and apply it with a pencil brush on my lower lash line, buffing it out. And then I'm also going to use that crease brush to bring it down a little bit further. And then I'm going to take the chocolate brown in the palette with that flat definer brush and really hug that lash line. And after I've kind of stamped it on the lash line, I'm going to go back and blend it out a little bit more with the pencil brush. I know it seems like a lot of steps, but you want to make sure that you really get it blended. Now I'm taking the Tarteist contour palette. I'm going to use the darkest shade and my Ita brush to kind of map out my contour and my cheekbones and also on the sides of my nose. And then after I've done that, I'm gonna take this big brush from Morphe. It's my favorite like tulip blending brush. And I'm just going to buff out the lines a little bit and make it a little bit more diffused. This is my current favorite contour palette right now. I've been using it for months. And then I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal bronzer that I mentioned in my monthly favorites just to add a little bit more bronziness and a little bit more color. And then I'm also gonna bake right underneath of my contour just to make it a little bit more defined. And while that bakes, I'm gonna use MAC Warm Soul Blush. It's one of my go-to blush colors because it's really natural and neutral, but it makes your cheeks pop. Now I'm going to highlight my cheekbones with the Dior Glowing Nude Highlight and MAC Fix Plus just so it's a little bit more foiled. I do think this highlighter was limited edition, so I'm really sorry, but I'm going to layer the Pat McGrath Gold Skin Fetish right on top. Like, I'm going all out for the glow today, like glowing hard. Then I'm going to buff off that powder right underneath of my contour, and then I'm going to take that highlight again and go on the inner corners of my eyes just to make them really glow. I want that glow all over. You guys know me. Then I'm going to spray some Fix Plus all over my skin just so it's all really refreshed and everything kind of comes together. And then I'm going to apply some mascara on my lower lashes once that dries. So for my lip color, I'm going to start by lining my lips with a neutral lip pencil. I just feel like neutral lip pencils are a lot easier to use than darker ones because if you mess up, they don't look as messy. So I usually use a neutral lip pencil under every lipstick, no matter the color. And then I'm going to go in with this liquid lipstick from Stila. The shade is called Chianti. It's a deep plum, gorgeous, vampy, dark purple color, and you can wear dark colors all times of the year. I feel like sometimes people think they can only wear them in the fall, but I love dark lips with glowing skin. I think it is so, so beautiful, and Stila liquid lipsticks are some of my favorite formulas because they're really comfortable and they stay on a really long time without budging. So this is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little get ready with me for an event. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!